Guys and gals, I hate to be the one to tell you this, but I think the end times are coming. Xbox is doomed. A dark cloud is about to cover the once proud green nation. Phil Spencer, oh Phil, our fearless leader, has abandoned us. First Halo, oh my sweet, sweet darling, Halo was delayed. And now we're hearing news about the Xbox Series X costing $599.99. I don't get it. How have we fallen so low? Okay. Guys, I'm sorry. I had to do it. Guys, welcome to this video. I'm Zimmy Games, and as you guys can tell, we will be talking about the recent rumor that the Xbox Series X will cost $600. And of course, I will be giving you guys the rundown on all of the most likely situations I believe price-wise we could be looking at this year. But more importantly, my opinion on how each of these scenarios could run and how it could leave these companies starting off in this new console generation. But first off, let's get some basic information out of the way. We know that both Xbox and PlayStation will both be coming out with new consoles this holiday. We also know that it has been confirmed that Sony will be coming out this year with the PS5 and the PS5 Digital Edition. And we know for sure that the Xbox will be coming out with the Xbox Series X this year, but it is also heavily rumored that Xbox will also have a second SKU in the Xbox Series S, or what is also known and rumored as the Lockhart. So for the remainder of this video, we will be going under the assumption that both Xbox and PlayStation will release with two different console versions this year. And I believe that this is a very important factor to consider when discussing price, because obviously the PlayStation all-digital console is going to cost less than the standard PlayStation 5, the same way that the Series S will cost less than the X. And now, since we have this out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the meat and potatoes of this video. So talking price, I see a few different scenarios potentially about to play out. And so let's go ahead and jump into the very first scenario that I like to refer to as the end times scenario. Okay, so this scenario is all about the Xbox Series X costing more than the standard PlayStation 5 console. And of course, taking a quick look at this, and I think that that's really kind of all you need is a quick look, I don't think anyone with a meatball in their skull would say that this is particularly good for Xbox. And I would definitely agree with that assessment. I also don't think that this scenario is impossible to happen, as we have heard from Digital Foundry and other sources that the Series X has power enough to rival a high-end gaming PC strutting a GTX 2080. And just to put that into perspective for all of you people who probably have no idea what a 2080 is, a GTX 2080 is a graphics card that right now would cost you $700. And mind you, that is the lowest price. And a 2080, once again, is only just a graphics card. It's only one part that goes into a computer. And so to have a fully functioning computer, you would still need to buy 6 to 7 other components to have a PC that would be capable of playing games and just basically turning on in general. Anyway, I don't think it is unreasonable to say that you would be looking at spending $1,500 on a PC just to have the same power as an Xbox Series X. So as you can see, it is possible for the Series X to theoretically cost $600 or maybe more. But it should also be said that consoles that cost more than $500 have historically not done so well. The PlayStation 3's launch is a great example of this, and Xbox definitely remembers the dark days of 2013 when they launched their Xbox One console costing $100 more, and that really did not go very well for them. But in 2013, pricing also wasn't their only issue then, but it definitely was a factor that contributed to their situation. And so for this reason, when they were designing the Xbox Series X, I believe production cost would have been definitely in their minds. But anyway, before I get distracted, let's actually talk about how bad would a $600 price actually be for Xbox at launch. And to answer this question, I have a feeling it won't be as bad as what many would intentionally think it would be. And for a couple of different reasons, actually. First being the second SKU that we were talking about earlier in this video. Of course, the Series S is going to be a cheaper console, and because of this, it will be directed towards consumers who want to play Xbox but don't want to pay out those buku bucks to buy a Series X. Secondly, as a company, a slow launch may not be the best thing for Xbox, but because they are more service directed with Xbox Game Pass and because they allow more of their content on other platforms, for example, Xbox adding Halo, Sea of Thieves, and Grounded to Steam. Because of these business practices in this new Xbox business model, I believe they are less reliant on console sales than Sony or Nintendo. Plus, they have the added bonus, and they have already announced that Xbox will continue to support new games coming out to their old consoles, so gamers supporting Xbox on old hardware will definitely help them out with a slow launch. But the last, and honestly what I think the most interesting thing is that will help them with a $600 price tag starting off a new generation would be Xbox All Access. And this is something I don't think a lot of people are thinking about right now. This program seems to be almost built with a $600 console in mind, allowing consumers to finance an Xbox Series X for 24 months with Game Pass and Xbox Live included at a 0% interest rate. This program might just be the saving grace for Microsoft, and in some ways, I think it might also actually point towards the likelihood of a $600 price tag. How awesome and what amazing foresight would it be if Xbox actually decided to make Xbox All Access because they knew that the next gen was going to be costly for gamers. Anyway, that is it for this first scenario. Let's move on to the next. And honestly, this one is a bit boring, so I'm not going to spend a ton of time on it. But we will be calling this scenario the status quo. And this is probably what most people think is going to happen. And I think for the most part, it's a pretty safe bet. Basically, this scenario is where the Xbox Series X and PS5 will cost the same amount or be close to it. And when I say close, I mean one being $500 and the other $450 or something like that. And if this happens, I think for the most part, both companies will have a great launch with very few issues. And I know it's a bit boring, but I think under this scenario, gamers are just going to buy what appeals to them the most. So the next and last scenario that we will be talking about in this video is finally what I am calling the Philly with extra cheese. And this scenario is all around the Xbox Series X undercutting the PS5 console by $100. And any way that you look at it, this seems like it would be a huge dub for Xbox. And sure, I absolutely agree. Of course, this is definitely the best scenario for Xbox. They would sell the most consoles due to this after all. I also think PlayStation is worse off in this situation than Xbox would be due to Sony's current reliance on console sales. But I don't think that this necessarily spells doom for Sony either. First off, Sony is currently the market lead at a 2-to-1 ratio, meaning they have sold twice as many consoles as Xbox has. And sure, that extra $100 would hurt sales, but I don't believe it would hurt enough for Sony to lose their market lead. Plus, the quality of Sony's first party can't be denied. Sure, it may not be your thing, but there is no denying that there are definitely beloved franchises on Sony's side that would be sorely missed by PlayStation users if they jump ship to Xbox. And as important price is, and trust me, I definitely think price is king, the importance of quality games and the emotional connection players have with many of these franchises should not be underestimated either. As I said before, this would definitely be the worst pricing scenario for Sony, and definitely the best one for Xbox with them raking in some well-earned sales. But still, if this did happen, I don't believe Xbox would gain a lead in sales. Now, at the beginning of this video, I did mention how both PlayStation and Xbox are going to have second SKUs in the PlayStation 5 Digital and the Xbox Series S. So let's go ahead and talk about these second consoles for a minute. Starting off with the PlayStation 5 Digital, because this is definitely probably the console that we know the most about. It would seem that the PlayStation 5 Digital is built with the exact same hardware that is in the standard PlayStation 5. The only difference is that the digital version does not have a disc drive that you can play physical games on. Because of this, I believe that we are looking at a $50 to potentially $100 price reduction compared to the standard PlayStation 5 console. So if the regular PlayStation 5 was $500, then I think the digital version would be $450 or possibly $400. Now, on the Xbox side of things, from what we know and has been rumored, the Xbox Series S is actually going to be a less powerful console, somewhere between the power of the One X and the Series X. It is also rumored that the Series S, like the PlayStation 5 Digital, will not have a disc drive. Taking both of these rumored but still very likely factors into consideration, and I think it's safe to say that we would be looking at a more significant cut in price compared to the Series X than Sony is capable of doing with their systems. Meaning, I believe that the second Xbox console, the Series S, could be sold for $200 or possibly $300 less than the Series X. And of course, this is complete speculation, but at least it's speculation based on some resemblance of rational thinking. Anyway, because it is rumored that the Series S is going to be less powerful than the Series X and PlayStation 5, I think it's safe to say that the Series S is going to be sold at a lower price than both. Meaning that it looks extremely likely that Xbox will have both the most powerful console and the lowest priced console when comparing both Xbox and PlayStation going into this next generation. Now, to wrap up this video and to cover all the main points of this video, if it turns out that the Xbox Series X is going to in fact cost $600, I don't think it is going to spell out disaster for the Xbox brand, mainly due to all of the alternate ways that Xbox has set up for their pricing strategy, with xCloud allowing you to play on mobile devices, Game Pass being on other platforms such as PC, and the lower priced second console being the Xbox Series S. I think it would definitely be worse for Sony's PlayStation if their console was priced above the Series X, but I don't believe it would be bad enough for them to lose in sales. They currently just have too high of a lead, and there are other variables and factors to consider when buying a console other than just price. And once again, I do believe pricing is king, and I do believe that for the majority of consumers, price is the biggest thing. But there are still other factors that go in. And if both Xbox and PlayStation are priced the same or close to it, well, I just think it's going to be quite boring. Anyway, these are all of my thoughts on what we should look for to happen in the next couple of months. I wasn't able to mention everything because, well, who has the time? But I tried my best to do a heavy dive into this topic, and I hope you guys and gals enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and click that notification bell so you never miss out on any new videos. And if you have the time, please click that like button as well, as it will definitely help other people find this video. And be sure to comment down below what you think about my theories in this video. Do you think that they make sense, or do you think I've lost all my marbles? Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Peace out.